Right now at noon, Madison water utility crews are working to repair a water main break on the city's north side. How that could impact your commute. And House Speaker Pelosi says she believes the president engaged in a cover-up. What the speaker is saying about growing calls for impeachment proceedings from some House Democrats.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us on a Wednesday afternoon. Mark is on assignment. He'll be back on Live at 4. I'm Josh Breiter. Finally, some sunshine peeking through the clouds today. Let's start this news with meteorologist Dave Caulfield, who's tracking a nice afternoon warm-up. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, already our temperatures are warmer than our highs both yesterday and the day before that, already into the 60s thanks to that sunshine and those strong southerly winds on visible cloud track. We are seeing a general clearing trend, although a patch of clouds heading into southwestern Wisconsin. That won't be around for long, though. In Madison, we'll call it mostly cloudy skies on the WISC-TV Skycam, but again, we will see plenty of blue sky. Look at those temperatures already into the upper 60s and lower 70s across southern Wisconsin. That is a huge difference from yesterday, about 15 to 20 degrees warmer compared to this time on Tuesday. And wind speeds, everything still feeding into that large low pressure system that is to our north. And those wind speeds at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting closer to 30. So windy but warmer today. That's our main weather message. And temperatures will max out in the mid to upper 70s by later this afternoon with partly sunny skies. And then as we head into tomorrow, some of us could pick up a quick shower or thunderstorm, especially south and east of Madison. We'll take a look at that possibility, plus talk about some severe weather possible on Friday in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
I'm still thawing out from yesterday, Dave.
Oh, man, that was a tough volleyball game for you, right?
Oh, yeah, summer volleyball league.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit better today.
All right, we'll see you in just a little bit. Well, new at noon, SSM Health in Madison says it has changed its plan to build a clinic on South Park Street, but it still plans to expand in South Madison. SSM says the plan changed after feedback from community members. They will build their multi-million-dollar project on its existing South Fish Hatchery Road property. It plans to work with the eventual developer and grocery store in partnering on healthcare services located either within or nearby the new grocery store. This site change will require changes to SSM's overall project plan, but the healthcare group is still in the early planning and development stage. Madison water utility crews are still working to repair a water main break on the city's north side. Repairs have the northbound lanes of North Sherman Avenue closed between Boyd and Schlimgen Avenues. The main break has caused a significant hole to form beneath part of the road there. Dozens of homes are without water and traffic is being rerouted as those repairs are underway. Reported illnesses in Wisconsin and Minnesota have forced Quick Trip to remove some vegetable trays from its convenience stores. The Del Monte vegetable tray that has broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots with a dill dip has been linked to salmonella bacteria. This according to health officials who also say it's caused 3 people in Wisconsin and 1 person in Minnesota to get sick. The same product caused more than a dozen people to get sick last June. Governor Tony Evers has scheduled a private meeting with Republican leaders to talk about K-12 education funding. This comes a day before the legislature's budget writing committee was to take up the issue. Evers campaigned on his proposal to increase K-12 funding by 10% over 2 years, totaling around $1.4 billion. Republicans have talked about a much lower increase, targeting a budget of around $505 million. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has held a closed-door meeting with House Democrats this morning. She updated them about the ongoing congressional investigations into President Trump. She's trying to convince members to hold off on impeachment hearings for now. Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is urging Democratic colleagues to let investigations into the president wrap up before moving on to impeachment proceedings.
We believe that no one is above the law, including the President of the United States, and we believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up.
But more and more Democrats say they now support impeachment hearings because of the Trump administration's refusal to comply with congressional subpoenas for witnesses and documents.
And I think it's just a matter of time before more members come to the very exact conclusion.
The House Judiciary Committee has issued subpoenas to hear from Annie Donaldson, former chief of staff for former White House counsel Don McGahn, and Hope Hicks, former White House communications director. Both were key figures in special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, but the White House is likely to ask them not to testify.
They want a do-over. That's not how life works. When you lose, you move on. You don't get to play the game again.
The Trump administration was able to reach a deal with the House Intelligence Committee to provide some of the underlying documents from the Mueller report.
Starting with an initial set of 12 categories of documents we had requested that contain intelligence and counterintelligence information that was alluded to in the report.
But the administration is refusing to budge on the president's tax return. The Washington Post published an internal IRS memo that concludes the only basis for the IRS not to comply with the subpoena for the president's tax returns is if the agency invoked executive privilege. But that memo was not passed up the line to Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin.
We're trying to find out who wrote the memo, where it came from, when it was, and why it wasn't distributed, yes.
Mnuchin says he believes the Trump administration has the legal right not to turn over the tax returns. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The fight over the president's tax returns will likely be settled in the courts. Popular movements against sexual harassment are taking on McDonald's. This after more allegations of misconduct. 25 new employees filed sexual harassment complaints against the fast food giant Tuesday. The alleged victims are getting legal support from the ACLU and the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund, which was created in the wake of Hollywood's Me Too movement to help women at all income levels who face harassment. Celebrity chef Padma Lakshmi attended Tuesday's protest.
Does McDonald's care more about selling burgers and fries than it does about making sure its employees are safe on the job?
Support is also coming from politicians and big-name stars, including Kerry Washington, Reese Witherspoon, and actress Mira Sorvino, who tweeted, quote, "Tell McDonald's we're not loving it." In a letter, McDonald's says it's committed to, quote, providing a safe and respectful work environment for all and is implementing new training on harassment, offering a hotline for reporting complaints. A small aircraft went down yesterday in Alaska's Prince William Sound. The accident follows 2 other deadly crashes in Alaska that killed 8 people in just a week. People in nearby boats pulled 3 people from that water. 1 died and 2 others were airlifted to hospital. On Monday, a float plane owned by Taquan Air crashed on a commuter flight. Both passengers on board were killed. Witnesses told NTSB investigators what happened when the plane came down.
They said sometime during the touchdown, the right float dug in, the airplane cartwheeled a number of times, right wing was severed, and the airplane came to rest inverted upside down.
Last week, another Taquan plane collided midair with an aircraft, killing 6 people and injuring 10 others. Taquan Air has now grounded all of its flights. The NTSB tells CBS News seeing crashes involving the same company doesn't mean there is a safety issue with the operator, its pilots, or the aircraft. A California woman is in custody this afternoon after leading police on a wild chase in a stolen RV. Authorities pursued the woman in the stolen motorhome just after rush hour yesterday. She maneuvered her way through several streets and sped through intersections. The chase came to an end when the woman slammed the RV into a tree and attempted to flee on foot. Police were then able to tackle and apprehend her. At least 3 people were injured during that daring pursuit. Well, after being up 2-0 early in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Bucks are now tied at 2 games apiece with the Toronto Raptors. The bench players for the Raptors outscored the Bucks bench 48 points to 23 points to beat the Bucks in Game 4. Game 5 heads back to Milwaukee tomorrow night. Tip-off is set for 7:30 on TNT. Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Next, let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Move over, boring salads, because we've got a new one that's a stack above the rest. Not only does it look amazing, the taste is freshness at its best. With all the long weekends, potluck dinners, and family get-togethers coming up, we've been on the lookout for a couple of new standout dishes to make. Today, we're sharing one that's perfect next to a burger or as a star all by itself. In fact, we haven't met anyone who doesn't love this colorful stack creation. Before we start building our salad, we'll make a dressing that'll bring it all together. It's simply a mixture of mayo and sour cream, along with some garlic powder and a bit of salt and pepper. Then in a big glass bowl, we'll layer chopped lettuce, cut up red bell peppers, finely chopped red onion, some corn, and that can be fresh or frozen that we've thawed, a bit of celery for crunch, shredded cheddar, and some of our dressing. We'll repeat this one more time before finishing it off with some smoky crumbled bacon. After it chills for a bit, it's ready to serve. And although this is fancy enough for company, it's easy enough to make for a cool and refreshing weeknight dinner. You could even mix in some cooked chicken or a few shrimp to hearty it up. The recipe for our chilled stack salad is online now, so you can serve this as soon as tonight. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a stackable way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Still ahead for us on this Wednesday. Finally, a warmer day across southern Wisconsin, but meteorologist Dave Caulfield was tracking some possible strong to severe storms in his extended forecast. Keep watching News 3 Now at noon. Wall Street is still uneasy this noon with rising U.S.-China trade war tensions, and a two-legged robot will deliver packages to your doorstep. Here's Dan King Hall with today's Money Watch report.
Wall Street is on edge once again, showing concern over the U.S.-China trade war. A report from the South China Morning Post says China is rethinking its entire economic relationship with America. Speaking on Chinese state TV, China's President Xi Jinping urged countrymen to prepare for difficult times. After a nod from the FCC earlier this week, Sprint gets a no-deal signal from other federal regulators. According to Reuters, the Justice Department's Antitrust Division is recommending blocking T-Mobile's takeover of Sprint. This would be the second time government officials have stood in the way of a telecom merger in recent years. You may recall it blocked efforts by AT&T and T-Mobile to join forces back in 2011. A final decision on the new deal is expected within a month. Target reported better than expected earnings with its latest quarterly results. The nation's second biggest retailer says profit rose to $795 million, partially due to online sales, which soared 42%. And meet Digit, the creation of Ford and Agility Robotics. The two-legged robot will help self-driving vehicles make more efficient deliveries. Digit can also carry loads up to 40 pounds and walk up and down stairs. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
And let's take a look at Wall Street at the noon hour. Not so good of a day so far. All of them down right now. The Dow down 81 points, NASDAQ down 28, S&P 500 down 7.5. All right, time now to check in with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee. And Pam, I can't help but smile a little bit more with some warmer temps out there today.
Absolutely. I'm with you there, Josh, and we'll take the warmer weather, and a little bit of a breeze will help to try to mitigate some of the moisture we picked up overnight. You know, the frustrating part about this weather for farmers is we may have only picked up 3 or 4 tenths of an inch of rain overnight, but it's just enough to keep our fields gummy so we can't get out there. Biggest conversation I'm having with farmers now: crop insurance. What am I supposed to do? Should I pull the trigger on prevented plant? Dr. Joe Lauer, University Extension corn specialist, just sent out a bulletin to a bunch of us on late planting recommendations. We're at that stage now in May where farmers are planning on planting corn. They're going to have to start making some variety changes and differences. And this is also boding for the soybean markets. The unknown right now is what's going to happen with the market facilitation program that is designed to offset losses that farmers experienced because of the loss of international markets through tariff discussions. They submitted $15 to $20 billion worth of suggestions to the federal government on what could be done to compensate farmers across the United States. That also is something that's got to play in when you decide what you're going to plant or if it's going to go prevent plant. Number one item: talk to your crop insurance provider today and often as the next few weeks unfold. Today in Chicago, the barrel cheese was unchanged at $1.60 1/4. 40-pound block cheese was up 1/4 at $1.68 1/4. While AA butter finishes on a Wednesday up a penny and 1/4 at $2.34 a pound. So we'll just kind of wait and watch what happens, Josh. We're gonna have to, I guess we're gonna have to exercise our patience yet again for Wisconsin farm families. And I've got a fear that Dave is going to keep a little bit of rain in that forecast right on through Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, unfortunately, there just isn't much of a break for us.
No, I'm afraid not.
All right, Pam, we'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good, Josh.
And with that, let's set it over to the Weather Center, where meteorologist Dave Caulfield has that warm up, but yeah, still some showers and thunderstorms in that forecast.
Yeah, and let me start with some good news here, Josh, because it's not all doom and gloom in the weather department. It does look like Memorial Day weekend is looking drier than it once was, although there's still some slight shower chances in the forecast. We did get the showers overnight, and also this close call in Cross Plains. Mark Richardson sends in this photo of this tree toppled down, luckily missing the house and also the cars in this photo, so it definitely could have been worse. But with wind gusts of about 40 to 50 miles per hour as that line of showers and storms was moving through overnight, you can understand why there's some tree limbs and branches down across southern Wisconsin today. Now, as we head into the May precipitation graphic here, we have actually eclipsed our monthly average of about 3.5 inches of rain. We picked up about 0.4 inches of rain overnight, and locally heavier amounts of a little bit closer to 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch across Dane County, and generally about 1/2 inch to an inch of rain estimated over the last 24 hours by radar. Not too much rain showing up right now. Some light returns closer to Viroqua, in between Viroqua and Prairie du Chien, but we're actually looking at the sunshine for the most part. Our low pressure system that caused those issues and caused a lot of issues across the central United States continues to move to the north, and it really is continuing to cause some windy conditions across much of the upper Midwest and also some rain showers well to our north and west. Live look in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. The clouds have returned just for now, but I do think we'll see more sunshine by the afternoon. Temperatures, though, helped by these very gusty southerly winds at about 25 miles per hour, have moved into the upper 60s and lower 70s across southern Wisconsin. We're in the low 70s in Monroe and Janesville, 67 in Watertown, and 66 in Mineral Point. That is 15 to 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. We are about 10 degrees warmer than our high temperature already for today compared to yesterday. So on future track, look for the clouds to get on out of here, and we will see some more blue sky and sunshine later this afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s, close to 80. Can't rule out a quick shower or thunderstorm, especially south and east of Madison tonight into the overnight hours. So we'll continue to watch that, but the chances aren't looking all that great. We'll keep a slight chance of showers in the forecast. Then for tomorrow, another partly sunny day, another mild day as well, with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Then on Friday, we welcome in some more showers to the forecast, and especially in the afternoon and evening, some of those showers could be strong to severe with hail, wind, even a tornado threat. Also some heavy rain possible Friday into early Saturday. Quick look at that 10-day forecast, and we notice the 70s are sticking around, so that's good news. And as I mentioned, Memorial Day weekend on Saturday, we are dry, and Sunday and Monday, really just a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm in there. Now, don't put those umbrellas away just yet, because as we head into next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, those showers and thunderstorms do come back in full for those days. So at least temperatures are staying relatively mild for this time of year going forward.
At least it's a little quieter.
Exactly.
All right, Dave, thank you. Still ahead for us, why people in England are going upside down for the perfect selfie. This is News 3 Now at noon. A topsy-turvy house in Brighton, England has visitors standing on their heads for the perfect selfie. The upside-down house, which sits on its roof while all the furniture is stuck to the ceiling, is the brainchild of Tom Durst, the CEO of Upside Down House UK Ltd. It was built to provide an inverted photo opportunity. Visitors can be seen standing on the ceiling, holding up the furniture, looking out the window, or diving into the toilet, all providing fun, creative photographs for sharing on social media. Dave is just loving this. The company now has 4 houses in total. There you go, Dave.
Oh, man. Hopefully no one's down in the toilet. That's, wow. That is something else. And this weather is something else, I'm telling you. From the 50s yesterday to the 70s, close to 80 today. We'll get these clouds out of here. Maybe this weather is a little bit upside down right now, but that sunshine will return. Again, temperatures close to 70 and then highs in the upper 70s with some sunshine this afternoon.
All right, Dave, thanks. Thanks for joining us. Mark and Susan are back for you on Live at 4.